What's up, guys? It's Damp. I'm back with Izzy, and we're going to talk to you all about survival of the fittest and some tips we think that would help some beginners. If you're new to the mode, now that it's been out for a few weeks, we've had a chance to try it and wanted to pass along some of the stuff we thought would help you. Take it away, Iz.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, as Doug was saying, we had a look through the tournaments and they're really, really good fun to watch. So if you haven't seen them, go ahead. You can get some really good clues from how many different people played the game, and it's just really funny. So I'd go ahead and watch those. So the first thing I'm going to mention is probably you want to turn down the settings on your game, because although it looks very nice if you can run it, you want the FPS, you want the speed and the reaction time to get the drop on someone else. That's what you really need. So that's the first thing I want to mention. In terms of leveling up, because it is highly player versus player and it is very, very quick, it can easily become overwhelming in terms of level ups and where you're going to go. You need to kind of have some sense of a plan to begin with. So I would suggest the first couple of things that I would start leveling up is the movement speed, because although you don't really need it particularly, it's good to have right at the beginning, just because you can evade dinosaurs, you can evade people if you don't have the ability to fight them yet. So I always go for a couple of points in movement speed. And then I'll start looking at health, because that's the next thing you want to do. I'll get some couple of points into health, so I've got a good health pool, so that if I do encounter someone, I'm not going to just be dropped instantly. The very next thing I would then go on to do is Fortitude, because it's going to help regulate your temperature, and it's also going to mean that you don't get unconscious from torpor arrows and things like that. So that's really, really good. I'll normally level that up to somewhere between 6 and 8, and then after that point I would be jumping between melee and stamina, and obviously increasing health further at that point, just because it's really, really useful. And you're not really going to get into any PvP situations until relatively close to the end, because obviously everyone's really trying to beef themselves up to get into a position. They want to avoid people until they can deal with them. So I normally go for melee towards the end, because that's when you're going to have to be encountering people. The other thing we wanted to mention was, although it is very quick, it is definitely worthwhile taking the time to tame some dinosaurs, especially Dimorphodons, which are the small flying ones, because they're really, really aggressive in terms of they have a very nasty bite, and they're a very similar taming speed to the Dilophosaurus, so they're really definitely worthwhile. And they're also quite difficult to hit if you've got a group of them flying around a player, because they're just so speedy. So I'd definitely go for that. Additionally, you'd obviously want to look at a raptor pretty early on, because they give you the movement speed, and you can just outrun pretty much anything at that point. That's fairly normal. Also, large predators are good if you can find and knock them unconscious. Obviously, that's pretty standard. The only other thing I want to say is don't discount herbivores, because although they're not very useful in a PvP setting, if you can get their health and their melee attack high enough, they can be very, very good tanks. They can, if nothing else, they can be a really good distraction, and you can kind of throw them at someone and run away. And it's very good for that, and they're quite easy to tame as well. And they're running around everywhere. So don't discount herbivores. If you have a chance to tame one, then go ahead and do so. So you were going to talk about armor types, weren't you?
Yeah, so a couple of the things that often are overlooked are the armor early on. Make sure you take the cloth armor. You're going to have more fiber than you know what to do with, and it will help you level as well. But often people just will skip it because they think, oh, I don't have time to make it. Make the time to make your armor, and when you can get hide armor, get that as well. Because it's going to help regulate your body temperatures in case you haven't put any points into Fortitude. It will help you last a little bit longer. If you guys watch Shorty and Jamal in one of the first tournaments, you see that they froze to death just based off the location that they were. They didn't really freeze to death, but that's basically was their cause of death. So don't discount armor types. You're not going to go beyond hide. You're going to find everything else in the loot crates or drops. So that's armor.
Yeah, I've got another tip if people don't know about it yet, is that pressing H on your keyboard is very, very useful for finding out the time, which will be important, and I'll mention why later. The temperature, which can help you plan, and you can see, obviously, if you keep an eye on it, you can see if it's dropping or rising, and you can work within that. And it tells you a couple of other details. Obviously, it's got higher details on the sidebar for what your health is and things like that. The main reason, though, is that timer, because if you know the time, then you are able to know when midnight happens. And every time at midnight, the survivor locations are revealed. Now, if you can plan around this and be ready, you can set up an ambush over your location, which is revealed, which puts a massive light into the sky, or you can go and basically chase down other people if they are nearby and you see their location tracker. So yeah, it happens every day at midnight, and it's really, really good to plan around. And if you can know exactly when it's going to happen, then you can more than likely be able to get the drop on someone else, or at least be able to avoid someone getting the drop on you.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Izzy, for all the help. And guys, if you have any additional tips you'd throw in the comments, let us know. We'll probably be doing a few more videos after I come back from my break. But thank you for watching, and thanks for the help, Izzy.
You're welcome.
See ya.